Well, hi everyone. My name is Jason Lake, and I'm an account manager here at UpKeep. Hope you're excited and interested to learn a little bit more about UpKeep. And I'm happy to kind of give you a little tour and hope we could answer some of those first questions you might have and give you a little product demonstration about UpKeep in general. Our goal here at UpKeep is really to make sure that, we have a product that's going to fit your needs. So on a normal call, I would love to kind of ask you some questions about what you're dealing with today, what's your existing systems like, and what are your goals. But regardless of that, I want to be able to show you a little bit about how you can use UpKeep and some of the fundamentals about our software. And you really are our two focuses here at UpKeep, what we think really differentiates ourselves. The first being always really a mobile first. So you see our great mobile app there on the right. We want to enable our technicians and our administrators to get their job done wherever they are, because we know people typically aren't stuck at their desk. So, we really want to focus on having a great mobile app that everyone can use. And the second thing is we really want to focus on making it as easy to use as possible. There's so many other systems out there that make it really difficult to use, difficult to get data in, difficult to get data out, and really just make your job kind of too difficult to do. So what we want to do is simplify that and make UpKeep the easiest way for you to manage your system, keep an eye on all of your work orders, and build the best reports possible to demonstrate, the great work that you and your maintenance team are doing. So in a normal call, if I could ask you a couple questions, I would love to hear, what you're doing, and really kind of just go from there and make sure that UpKeep is the best product for you. That's what I want to make sure. It's a tough world out there in the maintenance team. We've heard a lot of stories of people using systems that they don't love, but that's how we've always done it. With pen and paper, it's always difficult because we're constantly missing information. There's literally just one physical piece of paper that might be all of the information that we need, and once that's gone, it's hard to find again. And then typically it's just so difficult to keep track of everything. Let's say we're one step beyond pen and paper. Well, at least we have some spreadsheets. Then it's typically the admins who are doing all the extra work because we're constantly copying all the information that might live elsewhere into one Excel sheet. And that's how you're building your reports on a day-to-day basis, or just trying to understand what's the work that we really need to do. It's difficult. And the last, of course, is maybe we're lucky enough that we have something that was built in-house. It was perfect for our needs at the time, but maybe our needs have grown, or maybe we just realized, a cloud-based system might actually get things done a little bit better. Something that we hear from those types of customers is, I really wish I had it all on my phone. And that is, it's tough when you have an IT developed system. A lot of times they weren't built with mobile phones in mind. So you have this great data, but it's trapped. So UpKeep's goal is to be able to help with all of these situations. We want to give maintenance teams, facility management teams, everyone who's doing all this great work, a little bit of a better tool in the toolbox. And of course, I have to say the reason that UpKeep has been able to kind of understand what our customers need is because we're talking to our customers. The customers are so important here at UpKeep that we're constantly getting feedback, and it's that direct feedback that goes into the decisions we make and the improvements that we make to the product. So, I would love for you to join UpKeep, give us that great feedback, ask us those hard questions. We want to be here for you to make sure that, everything works. So from here, let's take a look at what is UpKeep. So on the left-hand side, I'm signed in as an administrator, and we think of our admins as our traffic controllers. They need to keep everything organized, keep everything moving, and really just make sure that everything is happening that needs to happen. On the right-hand side, you can see that I have my iPhone screen up, and I'm signed in as a technician. And so everything I want to show you from the technician side is all those many steps that we're doing trying to process a work order, whether it's closing it out so we can track my notes. I want to be able to add time, add parts, add costs, or just reference all the historical information on that asset or location. So being able to do that all within your phone, that's pretty helpful. So what I would love to show you first is what we call our request process. So today, you might have a bunch of different ways that these requests come in. You know, someone sees something that needs to be fixed, and they're going to have a lot of different processes. Sometimes they're going to give you a phone call. Sometimes they're going to leave you a sticky note. Maybe they're texting you. You know, you have all of these different things that are coming at you. And it'd be great if we could just organize all of those into one easy to use place. And so that's what we want UpKeep to be. So instead of all those text messages and all those crazy emails, what we want to teach everyone is, hey, just put that in UpKeep and we'll be able to take care of it for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and hit the plus sign on the bottom of my phone, and I'm going to start a new request. And so normally, we ask people, give me an example. What's something that might have happened in the field today? And I could tell you, I've heard replace HVAC filters a number of times. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and put there, replace filter for HVAC. And when we think about this description, we want it to be helpful for the technician. So maybe this is bring the ladder this time. We don't want to get there and then realize what we need to do. I could go ahead and set the priority. And then really the most important thing, one of the huge values of UpKeep in general, is I'm right here on my phone. And my phone happens to have this amazing camera on it. So instead of just leaving a comment like this, maybe it's a leak, maybe it's a chipped tile, maybe it's something that's really hard to describe in text form. But what I want to do is communicate this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snap an image. Now I wish I was right next to you. We could take a little walk around your facility and take a picture of something. But I have my little manufacturing plant here. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little picture. You can see the plant's running pretty well today, but maybe there's something that we need help with. So what I can do is just kind of call them to action. So maybe I got a little bit of a crack here in my my plant. Maybe water's coming down this way. Whatever it might be, I want this to be easy. And now instead of having to barely understand what someone wants, you tell someone, take a picture. That'll help me understand how I can fix and help the problem. So I'm going to go ahead and hit done and hit submit. And it's really that simple and that fast of a process to start that request. Now, what will happen in UpKeep is I'm the admin and I'm going to get this notification. I'm going to get a knowledge that something just happened, and I'm going to go to my requests. So I'm going to look at my requests and I'm going to see, hey, what's going on right away. Replace filter for HVAC. So awesome. I'm getting a ton of information. I can see the title. I could see who sent this in. I could see when it was sent in, and even this priority. So if we have a bunch of requests coming in, you as the admin, you're going to be able to try and prioritize what do I need to work on first. When I click on this, now I'm essentially an admin, and I'm going to approve this request and convert it into a work order. So the first right away, I can get this great picture. So I know exactly what the person who saw this issue, what they see. It's really, really helpful for the admin to be able to assign this work, and for the technician, so they understand the problem before they're physically standing there, and then they have to go get the parts. What I love about keeping this all organized and simple is maybe I want to pick a specific location where this work order should be tagged. So in this case, if it's to my HVAC, I think I have one of those in my office. So I'm gonna just type in office, and UpKeep is going to show me all of the options I could have. So while that's going, I'm also going to show you how we can do an asset. So if I type in asset, I can type in the HVAC, and right away, it's going to show me that HVAC that I want. So it's really simple to tag the location, tag the asset, everything that you would want to do. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to assign my worker. I happen to be signed in as Mikey Maintenance on my phone. So I'm going to add them and then say, hey, let's get this done today. So Monday and 6 p.m. That's it for me. All I have to do is hit approve, and it's going to be approved and right in the technician's inbox. So as soon as I hit approve, I've essentially taken the step of an admin. I've been able to add information and hit approve, so it goes to the technician. And you can see right away, my technician, they get a notification telling them, you have a new work order that I need to start working on. So let's jump back to that tech phone. You can see I hit view my work, and looks like I have a couple different things today, but I'm going to start on that replacing the filter for HVAC. So what's nice is I'm the tech and I get all of this info. I can see that picture. With UpKeep, we really want to make it easy to understand what process is that work order. How are we need to complete it? Is it on hold? Is it in process? So I can just hit that start working button, and UpKeep's going to do two things for you. I could keep background of the time since I started working. So, if someone asks you, hey, how long were we working on this? I'm like, well, I think it was 1, maybe it was 2. With this, I'm able to let UpKeep keep track of the time. And also, it moved my work order from open to in progress. So let's say you're that admin, you're back in the office, there's a bunch of stuff happening out there. What I really want to do is just keep an eye on the status of all my work orders. I can sort by status, and right away I can see, great. So I know Mikey Maintenance is working on this work order, and it's happening right now. This is real-time communication, and all Mikey Maintenance had to do was click Start Work Order. So the next thing I wanted to show you real brief is all the information that we have in this work order. I can look at my location, and I have a ton of information. I can see all the different assets. I can see all the different work orders we've done in the past. I could do the same thing if I click on the asset. So I click on the asset. Now I have asset details right in my phone. Maybe the person needs to look up the manual. It's not stuck in some filing cabinet in the middle of nowhere. It's right on my phone. So when there's a problem, I can look up and see what do I need to do. And of course, having that work order history. When was the last time I had to do this service? Did I just do it and I shouldn't have to do it again? Or gosh, it actually has been a lot longer and I need to make sure that I create a PM schedule so I don't wait this long until next time. Let's say that we're doing a really good job. We got all those filters in, but what I want to do is make sure that I accumulate those parts. So I'm going to hit this add parts and go to my air vent filter, and I can click this button and hit add. And so what's great is UpKeep is going to do two things for you. We're going to accumulate the cost of that part into this work order, which then ties it to the asset and the location. So when you're pulling reports, you know for sure how much you've actually spent into keeping this asset running. Second thing is UpKeep's also going to keep track of all your parts and inventory. So I'm not going to go into it too detailed today, but I would love for you to maybe schedule another call and we could go much deeper into the parts and inventory, how we keep a minimum quantity and do everything that we need to kind of keep things running for you. Now that I've added in my parts, I've added in my time, this looks like a good work order to me, got everything done. I'm just going to hit complete work order. And so now is from the technician's perspective, I opened up the work order, added my parts, everything, closed it out. And really, I'm probably going to go and look and see what's this next work order I need to do. Really efficient, really, really easy. The other way that we typically see work orders come into UpKeep is when you have a preventative maintenance schedule. So this isn't something that just happened right now, but what I want to do is say, next month, I want to make sure that I change those filters. And I want UpKeep to be the helpful reminder every 2 weeks or every month, every quarter, really whatever you want. So UpKeep is going to be that helpful reminder to make sure that we're doing our PMs. Let's see how to set that up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my preventive maintenance module. And UpKeep uses a concept of triggers for this. So what I want to do is create a trigger that is going to create the work orders and all of the follow-on work orders. So let's go ahead and do that. With this one, maybe we're going to do a trigger for the outside facility maintenance. So I've been told, once a quarter, we need to do a security check, make sure that everything in the building is tightened up. I've done everything I need to keep the facility up and running. So I'm just going to call this my quarterly perimeter check. And so what's the work order I want to pop up? I want to just be a perimeter check. And there's nothing like typing on camera to make you realize that you are a terrible typer. So I apologize to my third grade teachers. Perimeter check, what I want to do now is going to give some insight. So let's ensure that everything is safe. Now here's where I might want to set a category. And on UpKeep, you have 100% control. You can set as many categories, as few categories, whatever you want. These are really helpful when we're going down the road and we're starting to look at reports. So I want to see, am I doing a bunch of electrical work? Am I doing a bunch of plumbing work? And then even better, at the end of the day, when I'm realizing all my work orders are falling into these work order categories, is maybe it's time to hire someone. But we don't really know what are the skills we should be hiring for because we are not tracking what are the types of work orders we're doing. The goal here is to be able to track everything, build really valuable reports, and give you some insight that you might not have had otherwise. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and mark this as preventive. I can assign it to different people, or I can assign it to a team. Let's put this one to the cleaning team. And then the last thing I want to show you is how to add tasks and checklists. So with PMs, a lot of times there's not an immediate fire to put out. So maybe it's difficult to know what you're supposed to do every single time. So I might want to add a task saying like, take a picture of the front door just to show that it's nice and safe. So I could build those out one at a time, or with UpKeep, if I'm doing certain things I want to add quite a few times, I could just build a checklist, and that checklist tasks can automatically be placed inside. So let's do the annual safety office inspection. Now all of those tasks are automatically added. I didn't have to go and add them. UpKeep did that for me. So I'm going to go ahead and add those tasks. And like I said, we want to start that maybe on Friday. And then we're going to set it for quarterly response. So once that setting is good, then I'm going to say, hey, every 3 months, I need a reminder to get this done. Now, sometimes people have more specific. Maybe they want it on the first Friday of every month or the last Tuesday of every month. Maybe you want it on a specific date. Maybe you want it on 20th of every month. You have all of these different ways to customize this schedule for you. So we've really put in, again, this is huge feedback from our customers where they have told us so many different ways that they like to schedule these PMs. So we've built that out, and we think you're going to always be able to find kind of a category or a way to plan out your work really, really easily and simply, and just make sure that you're getting the job done that you want. So that was how I would create my trigger. Now I'm going to have this work order pop up on my schedule on the 13th, and then every following 3 months, I'm automatically going to get that reminder. So I'm going to go ahead and create that trigger, and UpKeep's going to take it from there. So those are the two main ways we see work orders come into our system. A request starts by anyone from their phone, and they're able to look at what they need. An admin looks at it, approves it, and assigns that work order. Or we have a PM schedule where you can have a work order that is scheduled the first time, and then every other time you want, UpKeep's automatically going to schedule that. From there, we have a lot more to talk about, but I'm going to keep it a little brief. I would love to go into all of our analytics so you can see our detailed reporting, go into our assets, go into the locations. We have meter readings. So if you want a meter associated with a van and you say, hey, I need UpKeep to tell me every 10,000 miles, it's time to change that oil. We could do that with our meter readings. There's a lot of great features still in here, but I'm hoping that we can have a time to talk more, or you can get just deeper into your demo account. I think from here, looks like we might have a couple questions. So I'm just going to pause real quick, and I'm going to look at the questions that we might want to answer. So here's one, looks like it's coming in. Is there a limit on the number of locations or assets I can have in UpKeep? So definitely not. You have an unlimited amount of assets, unlimited amount of locations. We definitely don't want you using, trying to not use the best of UpKeep. And for that, that's putting as much information that is helpful for you. So if you're going to want to track work orders, if you're going to want to track the costs, put that asset into UpKeep, and then we'll be able to keep track of it from there on out. Oh, this is an interesting question. So how does UpKeep integrate with existing softwares? So we have an open API, and those in the tech crowd, you'll know what that means, and that's amazing. For the rest of us, essentially all that means is UpKeep has a really great bridge that is open, that we can connect UpKeep to other softwares. And we've done this for all the way to like SAP, to QuickBooks, to really anything in between. Love to help you out if you want to integrate your UpKeep data directly into any other software system that you have. Okay, and then one last one. So what are the offline capabilities? Like you're saying, we're mobile first. So we assume people are going out there, and it might be really hard to have internet all the time. So in these cases, well, we do have offline mode right on my phone. So what I'm gonna be able to do is store all those work orders on my phone. I could look at them when I'm out, deep in a mining cave or wherever it might be, and make sure that I'm always know what my assignments are. So, when you're out in the middle of nowhere, UpKeep is still there for you. And I really hope, that's how you feel in general. UpKeep is here for you. We're really excited to kind of learn more about you and your facility. And I've been, hope you got a good amount of information to kind of give yourself an introduction into UpKeep today. So from here, I just want to say thank you very much for spending some time looking at UpKeep, and hope to learn more. So thank you very much.